Hey everybody, what's up? This is Nick Dorsey here with the All Things Gratitude podcast. Thanks for coming back and watching with us again. This is just a great time, and thank you for everybody who saw the first one, commented, and sending the support. I really appreciate it. Today we are thrilled. We have a personal friend of mine that's on the show, and he's helped me out actually in my career too. I like to welcome the owner of Job Ready Today, Mr. Kurtis Tompkins.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you for having me, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, this has been great, Kurtis. I mean, we've probably known each other. It's been a short period of time. It's only been probably 7 months, 8 months, maybe. I think September, October time is when we actually started connecting. I think we did our first call around December, to get to know each other. So it's crazy how far we've come in such a short period of time. It's like we almost know each other. We've asked each other for advice. We've helped each other. And, man, LinkedIn's done some good stuff for us in our friendship, man.
That's right. That's right.
So big news for Kurtis. Obviously, he just put out a book. He's the author of this awesome book right here. I'm going to go this way. Resume Writing Simplified. Tell us a little bit about it, Kurtis, and the experience with that.
Well, Resume Writing Simplified. It was an interesting journey. As I've chatted with you and told you, if some years ago you would have told me that I was going to be an author, I would have probably looked at you like, I don't know too much about that one, because all of the work that goes into being an author, the writing, the brainstorming, the editing process, choosing the cover, how to make the story flow so that you can captivate your audience, all of that good stuff. But I had that experience and it was very, very interesting. And the thought process behind the book was to educate the job seeker. As you and I both know, we've been connected on LinkedIn for some time now. And we've seen in the past many job seekers, and even now, talking about the hiring process, talking about the much hated applicant tracking system.
Yes.
Talking about how they don't think that the applicant tracking system should be in place because they believe that that system is kind of discriminatory in a sense toward job seekers at large. But in my experience and trying to see what it is that could be done, I noticed something. And if you will, I'm going to kind of take an analogy of some sort. When playing a game of any type, whether it's basketball, football, hockey, when you get on the field with your opponent and you see that your opponent is in a frank sense beating your tail, you think about a strategy to get the opponent. You don't sit there and say, oh man, we're just losing, and you just walk away and concede defeat. It doesn't work like that. You look for a strategy to see, what you can do to win the game. And as you have seen, sometime in a basketball game, a team could have been up by 20, 30 points. And next thing you know, the opposing team won. Why? Because they actually devised a strategy to win the game. So what's my point? My point is, when it comes down to the applicant tracking system, which many job seekers hate, there is a strategy to get around, to get through the applicant tracking system, not by fooling the system, but by actually doing something that the system is looking for. So my thought process was, okay, let's put together something that's going to assist the job seeker with getting their resume in order the right way, getting them past the applicant tracking system. And once that resume is seen by a recruiter or a hiring manager, that it makes sense and it shows that they are a qualified person for the job. I know that was a bit lengthy there, but that's what the purpose was behind it.
Absolutely. I mean, you nailed it on, and we've talked about this multiple times. I cannot stand the ATS, but at the same time, I know it's part of the system, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
It's what it is, and it's what you have to do. So job seekers out there, you need to come out and find somebody like Kurtis who understands those key words, the key phrases to what that system's looking for. Kurtis helped me out on my resume, and man, it just changed. It was like night and day. And the thing was, is Kurtiss, is it wasn't huge changes if you remember what you did to mine. It was just putting keywords in certain places, and I made the mistake of repeating words multiple times, and you took that out and replaced them with the same, same meaning, but just a different word. And it just changed everything. So, I mean, that was awesome. It was just, it works. I mean, I've seen it work firsthand because I was a year before I was looking for a job, and it was struggling and struggling. And all of a sudden, when we change up your resume a little bit, I was getting interviews left and right. It was unbelievable. So it was like, wow. And you know what? I was in the mindset where I didn't realize I didn't think it was that in depth or, that way. And man, just nuts. And now, when you have a position that gets 200-300 people apply for it, unfortunately the way businesses work now and the real world is now, unless you're spending all your time away from work going through resumes, you need a system like this. And it just, I don't like it, but it's just the way of life. It's just the way of business, and you have to deal with it. So people, find Kurtiss, find Job Ready today. He will help you. Services are great. Best deals on LinkedIn. That's what I always say.
That's right.
So let's start way back before LinkedIn and everything. Just tell people about your journey and how you got here, and like where you're from, and just what got you to the point you're at today.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from New York City. I made a change to move to North Carolina. It was time for a change. I was in New York all of my life. Nothing wrong with New York, but sometimes it's just time for a change. My journey and how I got here owning Job Ready today, I've been writing for quite some time. I don't know if I got an opportunity to share this with you, Nick, but I'm going to share it now. Way back, my professional writing journey started in 2010. I was writing for the Yahoo Contributor Network. So what happened was there was a company called Associated Content, and you were able to freelance write many pieces of content on the web, whether it was poetry, nonfiction, fiction, and I did all of those. And in 2011, Yahoo bought them out. So when Yahoo bought them out, of course, we came under that umbrella. And ever since then, I was writing with them. And I was selected, fortunately, to be a Yahoo local contributor, where we were able to write news events and stories, things of that nature. It was a pretty cool experience. And unfortunately, sometime later, Yahoo kind of cut the program, I guess, due to funding or what have you. It was a good couple years. It was a good run, but, they had to close it down or what have you. So I continued, and I had the opportunity to be a part of a program where we were helping people with computer classes and resume writing and things of that nature. And I got a chance to get to do that. And that was a great experience. And what stuck with me regarding that program was the effect that it had on the participants. When the participants came to me and they were thanking me for what was done for them in the program, how it affected them, how it brought a change to their life, that did something to me that I can't explain. And I'm not a person that, likes to get emotional so quick. I guess it's the masculinity or what have you. But when they were coming to me and they were pouring this stuff on me, I started to get, I started to feel that I had to hold it together, because I'm like, when you're making a change in people's lives, that makes a whole world of difference. You can do a whole lot. And I listen to a lot of your when you make videos and when you talk about your team and things of that nature, and what you put into your team and how you encourage your team. That right there, people will never forget that. And that is something that I took on my journey, and it stuck with me. I've been in, Fortune 500 organization and management. Did a couple of things, customer service, all type of things along the way. But that part right there stuck with me. And what happened My whole organization, management, everybody got laid off. So before the ending of that particular contract, I said, you know what? I said, I'm about to take this leap. I said, I'm going to start this business. Now, I've tried starting businesses before, didn't work out, and I gave up, which I shouldn't have done, but I think that this was a special time. So I went in and started the business, and, you know, it took some time to really take off the way I wanted it to. But once it took off, once I connected with the right people, it was amazing. And my connections here on LinkedIn, when I got in touch with people like Ira, when I got in touch with people like Mike O'Connor, that was a very interesting experience because I'm, you know, wasn't a hard user of LinkedIn. I just came on LinkedIn, checked a couple things, maybe like some things here and there. But when I learned the power of LinkedIn, that took my business to a whole nother level. So that's a piece of the journey. And like I said, that takeaway, making a difference. And even now, when it comes down to Job Ready Today, when the people come back and they tell me, what you done for me made a difference. And this is the perfect podcast for this gratitude.
Yes.
It leaves me with a sense of gratitude because I do what I do to make a difference in people's lives. That's just what it is. And some people take this when it comes to resume writing, they take it lightly as it's just a job, it's just something to do for people just to make an extra dollar. But if I'm not making a difference in someone's life, if they're not progressing to another level, then my work is not done. It's something that I have to do. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I am.
You hit on a couple key points that I just loved what you said is when you can positively affect somebody else's life, you know, that, you know, when I got into leadership, that was something some of my mentors told me was you can do whatever you want. You can do this and do that. You do your job description, fine. But to you change somebody's life, that's when you know you made it. You know, and I just, you know, I've been fortunate enough in my career where that's happened a handful of times. And that first person coming in saying that to me, you know, their big thing was, you know, you took a chance on me, you took a risk on me, you saw what I could do. Now I'm able to buy a house and provide for my family.
Wow.
And when something like that is said, it just changed everything right there. It just changed how I wanted to lead people and the direction I wanted to go, because that, I mean, that's life changing for me too.
That's right.
You know, I mean, gratitude. I mean, that exactly. That's why when this popped up, all things gratitude, Professor Pete actually brought it up, Pete Alexander, and he was right. He goes, that's just who you are. And I'm like, dude, he just nailed it. Cause there's a couple other ones I really liked, you know, spin off my name or any of that stuff. But I'm like, what? And then somebody else wrote on there, what do you want your legacy to be with your podcast? What do you want your legacy to be on social media or anything? And I'm like, well, I thought about it. I'm like, well, everybody who knows me, we got somebody online. Everybody who knows me as being, you know, I'm very grateful. I want to help. I want to give back. So I'm like, this is just perfect. It just falls in to what I'm branding myself as and who I am as a person. So I thought it was great, you know, and then like you said with LinkedIn, I mean, just the power of LinkedIn. I had no clue. I absolutely had no clue. I mean, you're using LinkedIn for something totally different than I am, but that's what's great about it. It can work in so many different ways. You know, if I didn't meet you or Ira or Kelly or Damon or any of those people, Ron, I wouldn't be. Here we go. Look at the bottom right there. What's up, Ron? But I wouldn't be where I'm at today because I don't think I would have guts to put out a video. I don't think I would have had the guts to even do a podcast. You guys just supported me so much through this whole journey. And it finally took Ira calling me out on a post about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. I'm doing it, done. But our journey's been great. I mean, you've helped me out, and I've told you multiple times, and I show my gratitude and everything by sharing your posts all the time and trying to do a lot of things. I mean, I'm telling you one thing, that post I did about when you launched your book and all that stuff, to date, that was the most views I've ever had on one of my posts. It just crossed 70,000 views.
Wow.
It's just insane. And a lot of that's because of you. And a lot of that is what Bowman Digital Media did to make those press releases to get that rolling too. And it was just a shared post. And it was just amazing what that power, like you said, the power of LinkedIn could do when it hits the right people.
That's right.
It's just nuts. So, yeah. So it's hard for me because I don't know what to ask you, because we're so good friends and we talk a lot, and we did a little bit of we've missed a couple times of me being in North Carolina, meeting up, and that's, this whole COVID thing is just, it upsets me on that aspect, because I'm like, it's finally lined up, it's gonna happen. Then because when I was there in North Carolina, it was pretty much still shut down. So it was hard for me to find anywhere to eat, get some food. I'm living out of a hotel. The restaurants are closed here. What do I do? So, but no, Kurtis, I just want to say, it's been great, our ride. I mean, we come from total opposite ends too. I mean, we're totally different people, but God, our friendship it just hit off right away, it seemed like. And we just have great respect for each other, and that's the key to it. So, here we go.
Yeah, a lot of people think so, but something, when it comes down to the team of people that we have in our corner, it's something else. And I thought about it. Me myself, when it comes down to online and in life, I am very careful who I allow in my circle. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm very careful is because I've been burned, number one, and as I'm sure many of us have. And number two, you definitely have to be careful of those that you have close to you, because some people don't mean you well, right? Mm-hmm. But I've found, and it's weird the way things came together with many of us, because at first I was connected to Ira. Then after being connected to Ira, I was connected to you. And then after being connected to you, I met Ron along the way, and then Paula along the way, and then Kelly along the way, and then Damon. And the way things, and there's others too, but the way things just came together, and the way we interact, and the way we all support each other is unreal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it's awesome, because all of us have something, as we all talked about the other day, something different to bring to the table. And when we bring those things to the table to collectively, it's powerful, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, talking about you specifically, I mean, we talked on the phone in the mornings, and while you on the way to the office, when you're in the office, or what have you, whatever is going on, talking about different things. And that's just something that you can see the power of social media. Many people look at social media as a negative thing in a sense, and they don't get, they don't want to build those type of relationships. Of course, you have to be careful, because some people, just look at you as a dollar sign or what have you. I've had calls, like one particular gentleman, he called me off of LinkedIn, and he was trying to offer his services to my business. And when I'm talking to him and I'm letting him know that, well, I don't need those things. And he asked me this question: well, you're not interested in growing your business? And I'm on the end of the phone like, are you serious? You're not interested in growing your business? That's not the way to build a relationship. But the way it came together with all of us, there was no ulterior motive. We just came to, learn and get to know each other. And when we seen that, whether it was you and I, when I seen that you were cool, you seen that I was cool, broke through that barrier. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's the key thing when it comes down to building relationships online. Just be real. Be genuine. Stop looking at people as a dollar sign or this or that. Even when it comes to myself, I'm not reaching out to people saying, okay, well, do you need resume services? I'm not doing that. They're going to come to me. Now, if they make it known that they are looking for someone, I'll, let them know. But if they're not interested, they're not interested. Stop pushing. That's not how you do it. But I'm not going to tap on that too long.
Nah, it's all good. Still to this day, I mean, one of my favorite calls is when me, you, and Charles got on the phone. Charles, that was awesome. That guy is full of energy, and it was, him being a veteran and how him and I connected was off a post about somebody posted something about a veteran. Then him and I talked for a while. We direct messaged each other because I was talking about my dad. He's been in wars, and Charles was in the same ones, and just how I understand that that military family life, how it is, and God, him and I just connected, and it was great. Then we all three got on a call together, and it was. I don't think you and I got a lot of words in, but I mean, it was fantastic. That the guy's a motivator. Yes, he is a motivator, and I just love it, and I love what he does. So, I mean, that was another one of those things. You got somebody in Atlanta, got somebody in North Carolina, and at that time I was in the Seattle, Washington area. What's the chances if it wasn't for LinkedIn and that we all could have been on that call together? Slim to none.
That's right.
And like you said, social media you can really use it to your advantage, but you have to use it correctly.
That's right.
Or else it will sink you, it'll eat you up and spit you out because it doesn't care about you.
That's right.
It does not care about you. So, yeah, I mean, we've had some great calls. We've been on some great videos together. I mean, he said most people realize, we have a group that's where we support each other quite well, and it's awesome because I always say, I kind of feel like I'm the outcast because I'm really the one who really doesn't own a business. I'm just there, but I soak in everything too. But what's nice when I have one of the people in the group, a business owner, will call me and ask me for advice. I'm like, huh, that's cool. I'm like, oh, maybe I am making a little bit of a difference, because I just want to enjoy it and be myself, and that this is one of the big reasons for the podcast, I believe, Kurtis, was people could see me typing all this stuff out and doing all this stuff, and that's fine. And what are some of my videos? You can be a keyboard warrior, but are you that in person? And this is a big part of us doing videos and everything. This is generally who I am.
That's right.
And I want you guys to understand that. And now I love doing these things. But a lot of fun.
Yeah. You're genuine at what you do. This is not a social media nick.
Yeah.
This is what you get all the time. And I can appreciate that because I'm gonna be real. I cannot stand fake people.
I'm just I don't think a lot of people can. And there's a lot on LinkedIn. There's a lot on LinkedIn. And you get some of these posts that are just so robotic, and it's the same format, the same thing all the time. And I'm just like, you have to be a bot or somebody is writing all this for you. And this is just the format you gave them and they follow it all the time. You gotta, I know a lot of people. I was to that point before I took a little time off here when I moved and everything. I was to the point and it's getting back there. I can't keep up with the notifications. I can't keep up with all the posts I get tagged in, and I'm not trying to brag. It's tough. And then I think of people like Ira. I go, I can't even fathom what he goes through. I asked him, do you even open your notifications? Because it's impossible to keep up with them, and so it's nuts, but I love it. It's fun, and it's brought a lot of us together. And from all different, our group we kind of hang out with is from all different parts of the country. That's the greatest thing about it. And somebody brought it up before COVID, and I think it's we should try to find a way to centralize and meet somewhere in the middle. I think that would be so much fun.
Awesome.
It really would be so awesome. So So how's life down there in North Carolina, man? Is it still kind of crazy, or are you starting to get out a little bit, or are you just still staying low key?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still staying low key. Of course, you have to leave the house to take care of business. Number one, and you have to get food and things of that nature. But mostly, I'm staying low key. Actually, yesterday, I believe it was, the governor extended the phase 2 for the third time in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So until September 11th. And basically his reasoning is we want to kind of stabilize the levels, keep it stabilized for COVID-19. And I'll be honest with you, I really agree with him, because just because you have something under control, you don't just start going, haywire and saying, okay, let's do this now. I do feel for the people who are, for gyms and things of that nature who are not permitted to open right now, because those business owners are still losing revenue, But when it comes down to the safety portion, is pretty much needed, because what we experienced a couple of months ago, man, that was this year, when it comes down to that particular area with COVID, has been one of the most, I guess the word I can say is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a couple of people that actually passed away from this virus, and it's something else. But anyway, yeah, it's being stabilized and it's getting to a certain level. I just hope that things continue to improve.
I believe they are. I mean, everything has to at some point, and I agree with you. Safe is good. And it's weird because I've traveled in the middle of this, so it's very interesting, going to different places and seeing how different places react. I've been to some states where they don't care. I've been to other states where it's just locked down and everybody's just boom. So it's interesting to see how everybody is handling it. It really is, and really quick shout out to my friend Erica. How's it going? Erica, she's another one that I have met outside of the network. So it was, I've been blessed with that, and I wish it happened at a different point of time, just because I could have met some other people, with you being one of them. So I'm happy. I know you've gotten in the last 3 or 4 months, you got to a new place. So I know you're settling in. So happy for you there. Your book, do you have any other books? Do you have a teaser? Is there another book on its way soon?
Not just yet, but if it's something, I got you. But yeah, not right now.
Yeah, it's all good. I want to say, job seekers, please reach out to Kurtis. He will help you out a lot. You hear it from me. The best deals on LinkedIn, my friend. You see Kurtis's post, when the last line's in it says, "Because Kurtis said so." So people, you need to find him. You need to go there. And Erica, another thing too, so important to guard the inner circle. That's absolutely. Right. 100%. I mean, that's one thing. I'm a very social. Oops, I hit that one again. I'm a very social person. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that.
Right.
But at the same time, I very seldom let out my personal life really get deep into that. Some of it. Ira knows some. I've talked to Kelly on some stuff, but I just don't let it out that often. It's just, like you said, getting burned with something like that is hard and devastating to come back from. Oh, yeah. And I always say you have to protect yourself, because the world won't protect you, because it doesn't want to protect you. Right. And so, man, Kurtis, I mean, like I told Ira, I can go on these podcasts and talk all night, especially with friends, and I love what you do at Job Ready today. So let's key on that a little bit. Tell everybody all the services that you have at Job Ready today, because there's a bunch of it. It's just not resume writing.
No.
And let the job seekers, let our, looks like we have a couple fans on YouTube, know what do we give? What do you give and provide as service?
Okay, so at Job Ready today, what we provide, and interview preparation, career coaching, resume writing, of course, cover letter writing. Let's see here. We also do computer training, so Microsoft Office programs. Let's see here. Basic computer training when it comes down to Windows operating systems, letting it run through my head. Yeah, so right there, that's the basic list. And sometimes there may be some things that a client may come to ask for that can be, developed particularly for a client. But yeah, those are the services that we offer. So basically all things career, right? Just to get the job seeker prepared for their next opportunity. And what we do, we don't use kind of a cookie cutter approach and say, okay, we're going to use this same thing for everybody, because everybody's situation is different. Like you brought up your situation when it comes down to the level that you're on an executive level. So working with you and working with someone with 3 to 5 years of experience definitely is not going to be the same. And we can't present that client as on the same light. Now you can give them, a strong standing, but you got to know what the difference is. So a tailored approach to each with each client situation, no matter what we're doing, whether it's interview prep, career coaching, or what have you, and using strategies that we know works, not something that's okay, maybe this, maybe that, something that works out. So that's pretty much what we do at Job Ready today, and it's enjoyable. It really is enjoyable. So
it's been a lot of fun following your progression from 7-8 months ago to today. I mean, I think you've created a LinkedIn page for Job Ready Today in that time. You've gained followers. You're promoting yourself. You're getting, the word out there. You're getting clientele from getting the word out there. People are referring you. People are giving you referrals. I mean, it's been awesome, Kurtis. I mean, I'm so happy for you. And during this whole COVID situation, how has it been for you? There's a lot of people have been laid off, and now some of the workforce is going back. Have you seen an increase in clientele coming your way, or at least an increase in people interest?
Yes, you see a lot of interest in people trying to at least get some information. I won't say it was overwhelming, to be honest with you, but I will say you did have people reaching out. There was a particular time when I guess I would say, was it about the ending of March, beginning of April, where, things really started to hit, where people started to, lose jobs and things of that nature. There was an opportunity. I was able to help many of those job seekers, at least give them some information that will help them during that time. And it was a decent amount. Actually, yeah, it was a pretty decent amount that was able to help. But I mean, hey, it was all in good faith, trying to help them to get to that next place. And I'm really hoping that it really did some good for them. So, yeah.
I think you did. I won't jump into it totally because I don't want people to think it's still there, but you did a brilliant marketing thing 3 or 4 or 5 months ago on Wednesdays with your little special deal there. And what I say was great was that service worth a lot more than what you were charging? Yes, it was, but you brought people in and they saw the interest and it gained to what you actually did with your company. And I just thought that was fantastic. I mean, it was a great marketing man. So awesome. So Mr. Ron Craig here decides to write this about me. Oh man, that dude. So I mean, but that's what the fun is people sometimes take this way too serious. And yes, it is a professional platform. I understand. But at the same time, I'm in business. I can go into executive meetings. I can go into tense meetings. I'll crack a joke because I know when to do it at the right time.
Right.
You just need. I mean, you just need that. And if people are too yuppie about it and everything, I don't want to deal with them. I'm serious. I mean, it's just you have to enjoy what you do, and that's like my job. I enjoy what I do, but I'm gonna have fun doing it too to make
Oh
myself.
yeah,
You know,
that's right.
I mean, I know you enjoy it. Every time we talk about your company and like your book, you put a big old grin on your face. I mean, that's awesome. That
Yes,
that means you're truly enjoying what you do.
that's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
and you want to. Yeah, sometimes you'll get a couple people in and out of the company that make it kind of tough at times. But guess what? Don't let it ruin it for the whole thing.
That's right.
You know, so I mean, just man, Kurtis, it's just been awesome watching you since I've met you, what you're doing. I'm honored to be a friend and to
Appreciate
call
that.
you a friend, man. I mean, it's just, and I am so waiting for the day that we can actually meet in person. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be awesome. And, you know, man, I'm so happy. I am. I mean, truthfully, I am. It's just, I'm happy for people who respect me and who are friends to me when they succeed. I am truly happy because why not be? I
Right.
mean, why? You know, and for some reason we connect really well too.
That's
It's just
right.
like I said, we're complete opposites. You know, I mean, I'm all sports, I'm all this, and I know you're into music and more laid back stuff, you know, and I'm just like, I'm loud and you're laid back, you know, and it's just, but it works. It totally works. So
That's right. And I'm also, when it comes down to you, you are definitely a cool person. You know, it's something when people who don't know you, they've heard your name. You see what I'm saying? So people
yeah,
who know nothing about you. So if you were to talk to some of my people and you were like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm Nick, you know, and they say, oh yeah, you're the Nick that he's been talking about. That's when you know that it's something. So it's really been good. And I watched your progression on LinkedIn. I remember when you your follower count started to go up to a whole nother level. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, Nick is killing it out here. And I started to see more and more and more. And now when you post something, it was good, it was cool before, but now when you post something, people they respond. And when I say they respond, they really respond. And it's like, wow, you're taking that to another level. And to me, we just never know what that's going to do down the line. We don't know what's coming years ahead of time. I mean, who knows? You just might be a business owner one day.
you know what? I have I have goals.
Gotcha.
And I've talked to people, you know, and they know. And hi Paula, I want to say that really quick. Say hello to Paula. We've talked about stuff too,
Right.
you know, that I've talked about, you know, but it's good to have those goals. And
Right.
sometimes if you don't even accomplish them, it's okay. You work towards it because
That's
it
right.
could lead into something else.
That's exactly.
And you know, absolutely. Where I work now, Carvana, right there.
The flag, I see it.
No clue who they were a year ago. I had no. I didn't even have a clue who they were. Probably a week before I got an interview with them. No clue. And I got led to them for a reason, and I still don't know what that reason is. But part of it was to get me to Arizona because that was a goal of mine.
Right.
And trust me, I didn't take the job just because it was in Arizona. I mean, that was something we talked about. We had to make sure it's right because our crew knows I had it great at my last job. I had it better than probably 99% of the people at work have it. I mean, it was a great employer. They, you know, they just really wanted to take care of you. They understood family. I mean, it was just, you know, family comes first. I mean, sometimes it was weird because you're like, we gotta get this done. And it's just like, nope, they're going for a week. They gotta take care of their family. I'm like, okay. But then I realized how cool it was, you know, and how special it was. So, you know, taking something was a little different. You know, I had to make sure it was right.
Right.
You know, how this worked, 10 days from the time they contacted me to they gave me the job. And when I walked into the building for my interview, it was just like, they better give this to me.
Right.
You know, you just had that feeling. So here we go.
Ah.
And then Paula's like, my sister lives in the Jersey Shore. So nice.
Okay. All right now.
So, we talk about this all the time too. We did, when we first met too, is everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
We may not know that reason right now. We may not know it a week from now or a year from now, but we'll eventually understand why it happened the way it happened.
That's right.
And, people who really don't have a big belief in a higher being or anything like that truly don't understand.
Right.
And that's fine. I mean, that's just, I don't look at them any different or think any different, but this is how I feel. And I think that's why we connected so much. We've talked about stuff like that so much, where it's just like, there's so much more to this than what we physically see.
That's right.
It goes a lot deeper than that. So
yeah,
it's just awesome. Man, this is great. These are some of our friends. I know there's only a handful right now on there, and a lot will see it after I post it on LinkedIn. I'm so appreciative of, right now we have Paula, Eric, and Ron hanging out with us. And, some great people. I mean, these are people who have always supported me, and, we have a poet. We have Erica, who just writes crazy, man. I mean, her writing style is amazing. I mean, I've told her sometimes she's written something and I've had to Google it because I had no clue what. Ron's Ron. He's got pants, so whatever.
I got an opportunity to actually
our Bitcoin guy. So
yeah, I got an opportunity to talk to Ron the other day. We got our first video, and it was pretty cool being able to chat with him. Oh, thank you, Paula. I appreciate you. You're amazing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, so we're just very excited for this. Very excited to have you on. I keep telling myself I'm only going to have these podcasts be 30 minutes, but it's really hard when your first handful of podcasts you're inviting your friends on, right, because I mean, like I said, we can talk all night. But you know what? We're gonna get the show. We're gonna get to the end of the show here. But Kurtis, thank you, my friend. I mean, I'm so appreciative you're on. Tell everybody where they can find you, my man.
Okay, so you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on the Service Professionals Network, aka SPN. It's a social media site called Alignable. Yeah, that's about it right now.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome, man. Well, everybody go find Kurtis. He's a great follow. Connect with him. You can see everything that's going on. He's got massive support. People are behind him. I mean, he's just a great person. So go find him. You can find me, everybody, on YouTube up there in the corner.
Yes, follow and subscribe.
Yeah, come subscribe with YouTube. You can also find me on LinkedIn right here. You can find us on the All Things Gratitude LinkedIn page. We got that. Just come find us. We have a great network and we have a lot of fun, but very professional, a lot of professionals in there. And man, anything you need, there is somebody around us who can help you out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's some great people. So I want to thank you for being on today. I want to thank our guests that we had on YouTube, and I want to throw out thank you for Ira this week who was on. Thank you, Kurtis, this week. Next week, it's Canadian week, everybody.
Yes. Don't miss it.
Awesome. Tuesday, Miss Paula Goodman will be on the show.
Paula.
Yep. And Ron Craig, our favorite cybersecurity guy, will be on Thursday. Yeah. So be looking out for that. I'll be promoting it next week. And be sure tomorrow morning to find this because it will be posted tomorrow morning and we'll get this thing rolling. And then right after that, we'll roll right into Follow Me Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be great times, guys. So Kurtis, thank you. Thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in. And we appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Yes. Have a good night.
Boom.